Kia ora and welcome to the CouchSide Sports Report, hosted by the CouchSide Network, myself, Dylan, and Simon. And look, we've got a few things to explain. Number one, we usually have this out on a Tuesday. You will notice this is not out on a Tuesday.
No.
It is out on a Thursday.
What do you mean it's not coming out on Tuesday?
No, it's, calendar and that.
Oh, yeah, it is Wednesday.
Because you can make up whatever days you want. No.
Yeah.
But
Not do that, If you want it to be a certain day of the week, you have the authority to do that. If it's Saturday in your head, it's Saturday. Don't go to work. Just don't.
You're an idiot.
I mean, one of us has to be.
Yeah, this is a good point. But with that being said, yes, this will be coming out on a Thursday. We are recording it late. We have had I would, at least for me, the busiest point of the year in terms of just my life.
You needed to sleep.
Yes, I did.
You needed a big old 12-hour sleep on Monday.
Yeah, facts.
And I was more than happy to wait a couple of days.
Because you've been a very busy man as well.
Oh, I've been busy. Work's been busy. Life's been busy. Didn't even get to go down to Tauranga last week. But still busy bee.
But speaking of Tauranga, we've got a gift from some friends of the show.
Oh, we did. And very special friends of the podcast, Amy and Stanley. I know Amy brought this a long time ago and just they came down and forgot it. I was supposed to go down and didn't come down.
Hold
on. They gifted us something which we
going.
would put on display now, but unfortunately we can't hook it up, and it was way too bright for the camera. They gave us this really cool neon sign with CouchSide Network.
Shout out to Amy and Stanley.
This will be up eventually, but
while you're holding it up, I'm going to plug this in. You can see the plug.
Hopefully you don't give me an electric shock here.
No. And if you put it down just somewhere.
We'll put it here. You're going to see how bright this shit is. You can't see anything. Look at it.
Even if I turn it down.
All the way down. I mean,
it's not bad.
I mean,
it's not bad.
You can actually kind of see it.
Let us know in the comments how good or bad that is. But shout out to Amy and Stanley. That's an awesome gift.
It's a bit bright, but it's brilliant. And thank you very
awesome.
much for the Skittles, Amy. I ate way too many. You need to buy them for me because there were Skittles in the courier.
Really?
I opened it up and there's still like stuff at the bottom. I'm like, oh, is there like extra add-ons? And it's just 2 packets of Skittles. I'm like, you didn't have to do that. But
appreciate the Skittles, but at the same time, I'm always an M&M's guy. It's got to have chocolate in it for me.
No, I'm an M&M guy too.
But yeah, when you get the gift.
But randomly, 5 years ago, I never ate Skittles as a kid. 5 years ago, I was like, you know what? I really feel like eating Skittles.
Yes.
And I'd never liked them as a kid. And I don't even remember having them as a kid. But I was like, I want Skittles. And then now I've always just been, I love Skittles and M&M's.
Yeah.
Give me Maltesers as well. Give me Jaffas.
I did that at 13 years old with fizzy drinks. I didn't really drink a fizzy drink until I was 13.
I hated them. I was 12. And I'd go, there used to be this awesome Italian restaurant in Mount Albert called Sour Rose. And would go there special occasions all the time. Banger. Shut down 5 years ago because of COVID. And bro, every time my parents would be like, oh, we'll give you a Coke and you'll see if you like it.
Yes.
Like every time we went, and I have like 2 sips like, spicy. And then one time they give me a Coke and I'm like, you know, it's actually isn't half bad.
There you go.
And then,
keep going.
And that started everything.
And
honestly.
it started, and now we're here.
And it peaked about a year later when my nan died, and we went up north to where because Nan was from Mangakaramea, up north.
Yes.
And so we went up there. Mum brought like all the like random cheap as like not energy drink, like soft drinks you get from the warehouse.
You mean like those old the $1 ones back in the day?
Yeah, but it was all like the Pepsi flavors.
Yes.
So I got hooked on 7-Up and Mountain Dew, summer of 2013. So good. I mean, the circumstances weren't the greatest, but that's what I remember from it.
Oh, man. Do you know what else I'm fizzing about, though?
It's the local and international sport we're going to talk about on this podcast.
I'm fizzing to talk some sport. We just wasted 4 minutes talking about fizzy drinks and lollies.
I like how before this, I was like, I really, 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 really just want to do this recording as quick as we can without sacrificing everything so I can go fill my car and have my food.
No, but we talk, though.
Oh, we do. We yap. And we're going to be yapping about, I think, probably everything here.
Yeah, facts.
I think there's something to yap about, although not as much as usual.
Although I will say for local sport, there is quite a bit.
Yeah, we are getting to that time where, there is local rugby, there is local league, there is local football coming up very soon.
Mm-hmm.
We're past the local basketball, but the NBL will be coming to our shores very, very soon. There'll be local cricket to talk about very soon.
Yep.
There will be local what do you call it?
And local
Yeah.
everything.
Local everything. to
And
come.
we're going to try and fit as much
It does-
as we
it-
can
it-
of it for you guys.
It does overlap at one point, you
Yeah.
know. And we've had dry spells during this podcast where
Yes.
there's been very little local sport.
Yes.
Obviously, netball internationals will be starting up soon.
Very true.
and, I don't know when specifically. And also, Women's World Cup starts this weekend.
Yes, it does.
I think I forgot about that. We're horrific. That's on our prep sheet, but we will talk about it.
That we will. But speaking of rugby, first thing I'm going to talk about, of course,
you-
this past weekend, All Blacks versus Argentina.
Yes.
First rugby championship test for us.
First away test of the year for us.
First away test of the year.
Cordoba.
And we did come
did.
out with a W.
Thank God.
41-24. We're going to talk about it. Look, we were up. Let's give some context here. We were up, if I'm not mistaken, 31-10 at halftime.
Yeah, we were. I remember at halftime being 31-10 up.
Yes.
And being like, how the hell are we up by 21
Exactly.
points?
This was not the most convincing, let's call
No.
it convincing, comfortable performance in the
No,
world.
it was very, very, it wasn't back and forth. It was just a bit, I forgot, someone said a certain word to me the other day about it, and I was like, that's the perfect word. I don't know.
You got the word. Come on.
A little bit shaky.
Yeah.
It was a shaky game. We started off very hot, very
did.
quickly, and then unfortunately, Argentina were just able to, kind of that 10 on the day was bloody mean. I forgot his name, but that fly half was ripping us a new one at times.
Yes.
And that can happen with Argentina.
Yes.
And we unfortunately stunk on the high ball, we have.
Yes,
A
we
lot.
have.
And that was probably due to the fact we picked two wingers who I don't think are particularly known for the high ballness.
And I do think Rico would have been better at the high ball had he stayed at wing.
Yeah.
But in saying that, he saw the opportunity. He's a natural 13. He went there.
Yeah.
But besides the point.
And
Yeah.
I think Severus is fairly average, but it's not a big part of his game. Now you need someone,
Yeah.
especially with how a lot of the teams are playing internationally now.
Yeah.
Some of the top teams, you need
Yeah.
at least one of your wingers.
To
be capable.
Like I said last week, if you watch and listen to last week's podcast, I said this last week because high ball, I think we both said high ball was a concern.
Yeah.
What's it going to look like? It's why we need somebody like a Caleb Clark on the
Yeah.
team starting at wing with whoever.
Yep.
Because we need that high ball. Look who we're playing. Argentina, kickers. I mean, the football is their sport. In rugby, they kick the ball.
Oh, yeah.
South Africa, oh my God.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's their game. Kick a high ball, put you under, get the forwards
they
to win
they
and put
live
you under
high
pressure.
altitude. Of course, they're going to kick
Yeah,
high. 'Cause
exactly.
It's easy.
Exactly. So
You don't have to try.
So we're going to have to find somebody. With that being said, I don't think Will Jordan had his usual great game under the high ball.
He still had some key moments in that game.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
randomly broke away, set up a try at one stage, which was good. And good bench impact at the end.
Yes, it was. I was very impressed with
Sammy
that.
Soni Takiaho, 2 tries off
With
the
the
bench.
double, yep.
Severu Reece was actually very good.
Yeah, I have to give him his flowers.
That was probably his best game in All Blacks jersey in a hot minute.
We are critical of Sevu Reece on this podcast,
we are
but
very
we'll
critical.
give him his
And
flowers.
it's not personal, Sevu, but
No.
that
He seems like a great guy to me.
he genuinely surprised me.
Yeah.
I genuinely was like, oh crap,
But
he's
do you know
actually
what's
playing really well.
But do you know what's funny? What happened? He stayed out on the wing.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Glenn at work. Shout out to Glenn,
Shout out
Liverpool
Glenn.
fan as well. He, but he, we both talked about it. We were like, the reason why Sevu Reece was so good is because he stayed out on
stayed on the wing.
And the reason I think he's not been a regular All Black starter is because when you kick it out to the wing, there's a prop out there, and he's 5 to 10 meters in field.
Yeah.
He stayed out on the wing. That's where that's where he scored his 2 tries. When he does that, he's a solid winger.
He is. He's brilliant.
So yeah, that's what I want to see from him more, and he showed it in this Argentina game.
Yeah.
And I actually have an inkling feeling with the depth that we have at winger, he'll probably start the second test.
Possibly if Clark's not fit, I
yeah.
think he will.
You do have Carter there now.
Yeah, but the thing is
but
with
yeah.
Carter is that he's probably the worst winger under the high ball.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we probably need Caleb next to him.
Yes.
Or Severu on a good day. But I think Severu on a good day, which was in the last test with Rico, you could tell we still needed that help.
Sevu's a great chaser.
Yes.
I'm not, but under catching high ball, different story.
Like, I feel like I'd love to see Caleb and Severu on the wing.
Yeah.
Possibly Caleb and Rico on the wing together.
Yeah.
I'm potentially, I don't mind Rico going back to centre if that means having Caleb and Severu on the wing. I don't mind it. I don't know what Ray's is thinking.
There has been some talk. I did see some talk this week. Maybe it's just through fans.
I think it's just talk in general.
Yeah, but of people, and I want to get your opinion on this, of how Billy Proctor's been playing at 13.
He hasn't.
I don't think he's done too bad, but I don't think he's been the great, not messiah, but the great talent that a lot of comment sections made him out to be.
He hasn't had that kind of game-changing element that you saw as soon as he came back from injury for the Hurricanes this year. Because I remember watching that first game he came back, and you could tell that he was on the pitch because the Canes were playing a lot better.
But like we've said, Super Rugby's a different level.
It's a very different level, and maybe it's because of how Razor coaches the outside centre, compared to how the outside centre is coached at the Canes. And it also, like internationals, it is different gravy, and he only made his debut last year, and he played once or twice last year. But he has started, I think, most games. He started the most games outside centre this year. He's clearly been first choice for now. So it's kind of like, do you keep him there because he's played so much? Or if you're not super convinced, do you bring someone else in?
I don't think you can be super convinced after 4 tests.
Yeah.
Four? I can't remember how many tests he's played.
He definitely played the first 2 games against France. I don't know if he played the third, because I know they changed it up.
He's played one other test outside of that last year.
Last year against
so
Japan.
4, yeah. Like, I don't think you can do that for a guy after 4
and
tests.
I think he played against Fiji as well, so it might be 5.
Yeah, so I'm going to, like, I'll clear it up so everybody's thinking, oh, we're giving up on him. And not giving up on him.
Not giving up on him.
We're just putting, stuff that's been said out there. And and I will personally, for me, I think Billy Proctor's been solid. He's clearly a hard-working guy.
He's very hard-working, and I think that is probably something that doesn't get recognised, which I think we need to.
I don't think it got recognised with Rico at 13 either.
No, the dirty work Rico never got recognised, and I think Billy's falling into that. He is doing that same dirty work, and people are again not picking up on it, and it sucks for those guys because they're doing everything they can, and then the comments are like, you shit. And it's like, no.
Yeah, stop, bro.
No, like, if you're commenting your shit to a professional rugby player,
yes.
Like, I think you get I think you should be, like, personally taken to wherever the All Blacks are training and and brought to a scrum machine, put in the middle, and go, okay, here's the entire All Blacks front row. Good luck.
Yes. Agreed.
And they'll have the wheelchair waiting for them,
Agreed. In saying that, in terms of positives, look, we got off to a great start.
We did.
Which I do like, and that is a pattern for us. The negative of that being our second half still have a lot to be desired.
Oh, yeah.
Especially at the start of the game, our forward pack, I thought, played very well.
Yeah.
I thought they fronted up. I think they were probably the biggest reason we were up 31-10.
I think the only maybe not criticism, but I think most people were kind of in agreement that going forward, our starting lineup wouldn't have Duplessis Kirifi.
Yes.
He's someone who comes off the bench.
Yeah.
I think he did concede a couple of penalties in that first half quite quickly.
But like I've said to you before, that's the risk you take with the way that he plays.
And I think that's maybe the reassurance that unless he's able to, curb that, then he's coming off the bench, which is he's a very good player to come off the bench at international level.
And what it all really, I think, depends on is if Satiti is fit.
And I hope he is.
Satiti will play 8.
Because he will play 8. Savia will move back to 7, where he's played the majority of the year and has been his same old self, even against France. And he was brilliant at number 8 in this game as well. He was chugging along. Trying to think of like the contentious positions people talk about.
Yeah.
I can't recall Bowden doing anything bad. His kicking was amazing till the end.
Yes.
He missed the last 2 kicks, but for the first 65 minutes of the game, goal kicking, which has been an issue for the All Blacks for a little bit, flawless.
Yes.
And I'm like, Bowden, because I got a theory. I think Bowden's goal kicking is better when he plays at 10 and not fullback, which is really confusing, because why would that matter?
I don't know.
Why would that matter? Maybe is it because of the kicking you do at fullback? I don't know. But it always.
I will say, and I've said this to you, even in game, I think when he's at 10, it forces him to have a better kicking game than when he has all the space at the back.
Absolutely. And I love Will Jordan at fullback still, even if he was maybe like.
Oh, he's fullback, bro.
He's a fullback, bro. We're not putting him on the wing.
Yeah.
I think we definitely missed Cameron Wigard.
Yes.
And that's not.
Cortez wasn't too bad.
He wasn't too bad. There were some instances, and then I think everyone on Reddit was moaning about Finley coming on.
Oh, everybody! I can't lie. I can't lie to you. Do I think Finlay Christie should be an All Black over, Hotham, Ratama, and Roigard? No. But at the same time,
he's fourth choice.
At the same time, I did not think he was as horrible as people have said.
No,
and
he got the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
let's be real.
His name is becoming one of those names where even if you see him play or not, you expect him to be shit, which I think is sad.
No, and
what?
I think the only thing is people really get stuck up on how slow he distributes the ball at times, but you kind of
in an All Black shirt, yes.
Yeah, but hey, he's clearly the fourth best scrum half in the country.
Yeah.
2 of our top 3 are injured. Who else? Kyle Preston's there, but he's not proven internationally yet.
No.
In fact, he wasn't even a Super Rugby regular till this year.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure. I still think that should have been Folau Fakatava at that spot anyway.
I'm a bit surprised Fakatava wasn't even considered over Christie, although you see he's not even starting at NPC at the moment, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
But let's not do that to people, bro. No. Come on.
And obviously Leonard Brown didn't have a great cameo off the bench. Ended up getting HIA and a yellow card. So he's missing the next game. Also, unfortunately,
bigger. I think the other injury is the bigger one.
Injury. Patrick Tuipulotu is out for 6 weeks with a facial fracture, if I got that correctly.
Yep, it is.
So he'll miss the Springbok tests, unfortunately.
That's going to be a huge loss. That's a big physical
coming off the
man.
bench has been great. I'm confident though that there will be another big guy off the bench we can use. I personally am advocating for Sam Darry to get the sudden call-up back. I think
he's been great for Canterbury in the first couple of games.
In NPC, he's been everywhere, clearly playing at that level above that you expect All Blacks to play at in NPC. Talea was playing at outside centre for North Harbour a couple of weeks ago, and he was still playing like he was the best player on the team, out of position.
Yes.
And I think I told you that, I was like, Talea's playing really good at 13.
Yes.
And you're like, well, he should be. Yeah. Because he's an All Black. I was like, well, yeah, true, but it's outside centre. But yeah, true. Yeah. Chances are Josh Lord's already in his injury cover, so it'll probably be him if they do have a lock on the bench. Because unless they do move Vai'i back into lock. For the next games.
They could,
but I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced they'll do
because
that.
As long as Scott, if one of Scott or Fabian goes down,
yeah,
absolutely move Tupou back.
Yes,
but if Scott and Fabian are still fit, keep Tupou at blindside.
Agreed.
Bleed him in because we will need him at blindside against South Africa.
And Fabian Holland once again, I thought was for a guy coming in, looks like a Test veteran.
I'm thanking the lucky stars that the Dutch rugby team is in a bigger force because he would have never came here if the Dutch were making World Cups.
True, very true.
But what an asset he's been. For the All Blacks, only 22. Yeah. He'll probably play 100 tests. And
hopefully
captain us
he
at this
continues
point.
that, man.
Which is crazy. Can
you imagine we have and there's people of Dutch descent in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But a actual Dutch All Blacks captain. And then we may, if our wishes come true, we get a German All Black at the same time.
And I know
that'd be wicked.
And Canterbury have a Japanese fly half.
There you go.
Who's rejected Japan A call-ups because he wants to be an All Black. I forgot what his name is.
No, unfortunately, that guy's got quite a bit of competition.
Oh, he does.
But who knows?
I think he's only 22, 23.
Oh, wow.
Hasn't played for Canterbury yet this season. He's played for them before.
Yeah.
But, Fabian Holland, what a player.
So, to end this convo, next game, I'm going to say outside of the high ball, which I think is a thing for both of us.
Yes.
What would you like to see from the All Blacks that's better than this past game?
Once again, consistency. Consistent game. We had a very good start to the game and we dropped off, and then we pelted around the second half, and then all of a sudden in the last 15-20 minutes we were unstoppable.
Yeah.
It just needs to be consistent. Maybe not unstoppable all the time, but just consistently, not conceding penalties constantly and not losing discipline and constantly actually moving the ball and not turning it over, whether we're kicking the wrong way or knocking the ball over is probably more likely, or doing something we shouldn't be doing. and just to keep disciplined and
Yeah.
stay focused. I think
Yeah.
that's really the only thing we need to do.
I completely agree with that. The second one for me, I guess it's part of the consistency argument. I want to see a big second half from us.
Yes.
So that would be number one. But for me, that's the same as consistency. Number two, I want to see that bench impact again.
Yeah.
I want to see that continue to happen because that's going to make our second halves better.
I think once once our bench were fully in the game and on, I think they made a massive difference. Maybe everyone except a couple. I think the forwards
forwards
on
were
the
great.
bench were great, and obviously over time when we have Rataba coming on and when we have obviously D-Max already coming on, and he's great to have coming off the bench.
Absolutely.
And
perfect role for him.
Next week we'll probably see Tupaia or Tafatanawai come off because Liam
You'd
Brown
presume,
won't be fit unless they do a sneaky Rico back to 13 and then Proctor comes on, or Rico to the bench and someone else is on the wing.
I could actually see them going, if he's fit, which I'm not sure he is.
Yeah.
But fit, going Clark, Reese, have Rico off the bench, which I don't think is actually too bad.
No, I'd be fine with that.
You
Unless
absolutely win games with that. So
you could, or you could even win games with a Caleb and a Rico wing duo, which we were supposed to see, but I think Caleb got injured, which was a shame.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see Tafatanawai or Tupaia given a shot. But I was also thinking, like, you've said it countless times in the past, we've got plenty of great options at inside center, like too many.
Yeah.
Why don't we just chuck the most versatile of those inside centers at 13 for a game and see how it works?
For Geordie Barrett, yeah, absolutely.
Play Geordie Barrett.
I did say this for time.
Yeah, set it for time, and I think I understand what you mean because like we just lack that other player when we're passing the ball over to actually get it out because we can't really expect Rico and Billy to be as good as that at someone like Geordie.
No, you're absolutely
he'd
right.
be able to do it, and we have plenty of options at inside center.
Yeah. The difference will be for Geordie Barrett at 13, at least for me.
Yeah.
Is the thing that made Conrad Smith such an excellent 13 was not his physical skills and his rugby skills.
No.
It was his brain.
Yes.
And I love Geordie Barrett's play. He's freaking awesome. To me, don't care what anybody says, that's the best 12 in the world at the moment. I know you have. I mean, I'm
trying to think if there's anyone else.
Because you do have. I mean,
France have? They probably have someone.
France
and England have Owen Farrell. I know he's like 34 and he can't tackle, but but they'll claim.
The only ones that might have an argument, I'm not sure Dale Ende is better than Geordie Barrett.
And
Dale Ende is definitely bigger. Don't get me wrong.
And, if it was a few years ago, you'd maybe be able to claim Bundy Aki, but he is a bit old now.
Yes.
Is he a 12 or 13?
He's a 12.
No, Aki, but now talking about a different Pacific Lion. Sione Tuipulotu.
Is a 12.
Is he a 12?
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yes.
I know that for a fact. He's definitely up there.
Yeah. But
France.
But I think what
who started 12 for France? It's not Intermac. He's the 10. It's
I forgot.
Is it one of the other 10s who they just have to play? Oh no, because Ramos plays as a fullback.
Yeah, he plays a fullback. Anyway, besides the point.
Oh, Fiku? Is it Gale? Does he start?
Well, Gale Fiku was here.
He was here at 12, but I don't know if he's the 12. I don't know.
But you get the point. I think the thing that separates Geordie Barrett from those guys is the rugby skill.
Yes.
But in saying that, will he have the same brain at 13?
I think his brain is for rugby and for rugby only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
and
enough.
I think he's got a very, very good rugby brain.
Yeah, fair
and there's
enough.
no disrespect. I think he's just got a very good rugby brain.
Yeah.
Is he a bit of a Lynn Iquitel?
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
We will. We will.
Mate, after the game that they had, maybe not.
because that Aussie centre pairing.
Oh,
scary.
that's not bad.
Oh.
But in saying that, like we said, just to fully end it off,
yes,
we definitely want to see a more consistent All Blacks performance. I'd like to see a big second half. I'm sure you would too. And let's keep seeing that bench impact, man.
And I want to see Simon Parker. Roll him out. Roll him out. And if you can...
We could, to be honest.
And if you can, Leroy Carter, but I'm not convinced I'll be able to roll him out, although he technically can play centre. So...
This is a very good point.
Yeah, I'd love to see...
Don't think he plays centre in an All Blacks jersey.
No.
But yeah,
I mean, it's like wing cover.
Yeah.
Like wing centre cover off the bench.
Yeah.
Like as a 23.
Now, speaking of impact,
yes,
a team that needs impact at the moment, an impact player, is the Warriors.
They won a game! They won a game!
They did win a game.
I'm screaming like they're not fourth. And I'm saying we won a game.
Before the Warriors game, I'll just run through these scores.
Yeah,
so
you can do this for a change.
So, The Panthers and Storm, who I still think will be the final,
Yeah. Same.
was an excellent game that the Storm ended up pulling out 22-18. Was there controversy with it?
Yes.
Is that rugby league? Yes.
And can the Panthers shut them out because they won 4 titles in a row?
Yes. So there you go. Storm taking that 22-18. Then the Roosters, big win.
Huge.
Over the
Huge
I'm
for the
pretty sure
Roosters.
still third place Bulldogs.
Yep.
32-12, huge. Speaking of huge, Sharks go to the Sharks beat the Titans at home 54-22. The Broncos get a win over the Dolphins 38-28. The Rabbitohs get a close win over the Eels 20-16. The West Tigers do get a win over the Sea Eagles 26-12, and the Cowboys go and take the Knights to task, beating them 38-4. But of course, the game we're going to talk about, because we are Warriors fans, so Stuffiers.
Although I didn't even watch this game.
Yeah,
So,
neither did I.
so what are we going to talk about?
It's the Warriors Dragons. I did.
The Warriors won. The end.
No, I will say this: Dragons did get off to a hot start. I do know that. I think they went up.
About 10 up.
Yeah, they were 10-0 up early.
Why couldn't I watch the game? Because I was supposed to be driving down.
I was sleeping.
Hold on.
That's what I was doing.
It was like an 8 p.m. Wait,
Yeah,
where was I?
That's how my
I
week
was
has
doing
been.
something on Friday, which prevented me from watching the game.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I can't remember. Anyway, I
went out to dinner with my friends.
There you go. You have one.
Hey,
Well, I'm right here. So
Yeah. My other
you're not
friends.
letting- No, just playing.
Yeah.
But
Just
no.
playing.
But anyway, the Dragons did go up 10-0.
Yes.
And I did see this. I looked on it on Tribe, and I was like, oh no, it's
Here we
going to
go.
happen again. But we came back.
pulled it out of the bag.
14-10. I will say, and I'm going to say this because it was pretty rough. The two guys that attempted to tackle James Fisher-Harris, that both ended up knocking themselves out. I wish them the best
Yep.
recovery because that was rough. But you know, look, the Warriors needed that one. I
they
don't
did.
think it matters
They-
how we got it. It was scrappy, but we got it.
They needed the win. It really installs the confidence heading into the last
Yeah.
3 games of the season.
Yeah.
Player confidence will be up. And also, the team has been named for the next game, which
Yes.
we'll talk about in a second.
Teamless Tuesday.
And Rocco Berry has been named. Please stay fit for this game.
Yeah, please, bro.
Lick is on the bench, so I have a feeling he'd probably end up starting. The team looks pretty damn strong.
Yeah, it does.
Considering we don't have Barnett, we don't have Metcalf for the
Metcalf.
rest of the season. But last 3 games to go, we needed that win. And because the Storm did us a favor over the Panthers, it means we have gone back into 4th.
Yes.
So if we can beat the Panthers' record for the next 3 games and claim 4th, that's huge considering the
That would
amount
be
of
huge.
issues. I know this has been a very open NRL season and there hasn't really been an all-dominant team. Obviously, the Bulldogs started off very hot and then faltered, as
Yes.
most teams do, especially the Bulldogs, because they weren't a top team last year.
Yeah, true.
And they, but obviously had the pieces. So for the Warriors, it's just been a great season.
Yeah.
It's been a great season despite everything and despite some shit performances at times and, that 3-game losing streak. We have to realize this is one of the better Warriors seasons in the past 15 years
Yes, it
because we
is.
went without playoffs for so long.
We
And
did.
now we're complaining because we lost the game, but we're still 4th.
Yeah, let's calm down on that one,
So,
guys.
but obviously, you can criticize the team if it isn't up to scratch, and
Yeah.
if you can see something, if it's valid, if it's
There's a
not
way
valid,
to balance it.
exactly.
Yeah.
You can have balanced criticism,
Yeah.
but this is huge for the Warriors. They won't get any higher than 4th, but if we can hold on to 4th or at least hold on to 5th, I think it will help us out
Yeah.
a ton. Because how the NRL finals work, first play 4th and second play 3rd, I believe.
Yes.
And then the winners go straight to the semi-finals. The losers go into the prelim or
I
whatever.
think it's prelim, yeah.
Prelim finals, and then you have the 5th play 8th, and then 6th play 7, and then they play the losers of those games I just mentioned, and then the winners of those games go to the semis. So the top 4.
So they play the whoever loses the 1, 4, 2, 3 plays the winners of the
Yes.
5, 8, 6, 7.
Yep, and then the
Okay, sweet.
losers go completely out. So that's how in 2023 Warriors finished 3rd, I want to say, and played the Storm. Well, no. We finished 4th and played the Panthers.
Yes.
So we lost, and then we hosted the Knights, and we
Yes.
bet the Knights. But because we'd already played the Panthers, we faced the second place Broncos. Instead
Yeah.
in the semi-finals. So if we finish 4th, that means we'll probably face the Raiders, which you never know. because I know the Raiders are a good team and they thrashed us in Vegas and they pipped us in Mount Smart.
They did.
You never know what would happen if we faced the Raiders.
It'll
I
be
know they're a good
interesting.
team, but I think a lot of people still like, how are the Raiders so good? And but they're obviously showing how they're so good. But if we finish fourth, it means we get a second chance.
Yes,
right?
this is true.
And I think it's so important if we can snatch that from the Panthers.
With this team, without Metcalf and Barnett, we probably really need it.
Or we'd so need it, because if we're fifth, as it currently stands, and eighth is the Roosters. And we know the Roosters, they just beat the Bulldogs by 20. We know they've got game-changing players on the team.
Yeah.
They've got Tedesco, and they've got, Mark...
Nawanga Tawasi.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's a very good player, and a whole bunch of other guys I'm forgetting. But yeah. Warriors...
But Warriors are fourth. That's the important thing.
That's the important thing. Rocco Berry coming back. I think injuries are slowly coming back. Obviously, players are out for the season. But it's all very, very good. All very great.
We'll need the best team we can have available for these last, 3 games?
We do need it. And our next game is away to the Titans on Saturday at 7:30. So it's a bit of a bogey team, but I think we can pull it off.
Yeah.
The Panthers host the Raiders. So that's fifth,
tough.
hosting first on Friday at 8 p.m. And then followed that is second versus third, Storm versus the Bulldogs at 10 p.m. So back-to-back banging games. If you want to watch back-to-back rugby league, do that. The Raiders still on top of the table on 40 points. Storm are 2 points behind them on 38, and the Bulldogs are 2 points behind them on 36. Your New Zealand Warriors are fourth on 32 points, a point ahead of the Panthers, and the Panthers are a point ahead of the Broncos, who are in sixth. The sixth, 2 points clear of the Sharks, who are also... the Broncos are level on points with the Sharks. The Sharks, and both teams are 2 points clear of the 8th place Roosters. And there is a gap between 8th and 9th. The Dolphins are 2 points behind the Roosters in 9th. The Seagulls and the West Tigers are 2 points behind those Dolphins in 10th and 11th, respectively. The Dragons are 12th on 22 points, and I think technically could make the 8, but it's very, very likely they won't, because they need to win the next 3 games and require a lot of teams to lose. If they bet the Warriors on Friday night, then they would have had a much bigger chance of making the 8, because they would have been on 24 points. They would have been level on points with the Seagulls and the West Tigers, who are only 2 points behind the Roosters. And all I know is the Titans are still bottom of the table. I didn't write that in because we're getting to crunch time, playoff time, and we don't need to be breaking down who's at the bottom.
Very true.
So shall we move on to the NRL dub?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately,
the NRL dub,
for the Warriors, they played their game. I'll just get, again, don't watch this one as well. 16-20 loss against one of the bottom teams, the Raiders. But the Warriors play with 11 women. I think the majority of this game. I've since forgotten what happened, but apparently the calls which were made were calls that in the men's game would only be like a sin bin and not a send off. So I'm not totally sure what happened, but apparently we played really valiantly, and my mate said if we had a full team, we're winning this. Yeah. So it's a setback, but it's not the end of the world because there's still games to go.
Going to have to be better in the next one.
Yeah. But the other games, but also Michaela Brake is out indefinitely because she is pregnant. So congratulations.
Oh, fair enough. Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations, Warrior baby.
There we go. So, actually, while we're on the subject, just quickly, another pregnancy that was announced in the WWE is Naomi, who is also the wife of one Jimmy Uso. I'll do a quick congratulations there.
Congratulations.
It was to her as well.
It was quite funny when she laid the belt on the ground. It was on top of the Slim Jim sponsor.
Oh, is that right?
So everyone was making jokes about Big Jim.
Crack up. There you go. But no, that's fantastic.
So yeah,
but
Baby Uso's probably main eventing WrestleMania in 30 years.
Big facts.
Against one of Roman Reigns' kids.
Big
or
facts.
Jacob Fatu's kids, because he has 5.
Or maybe
6.
Zilla's.
Oh yeah, because apparently he has 4 or 5, and he's our age. So
Polynesian's different, bro.
Oh, I know.
But there we go. But no, so yeah, what were those other results there, mate?
The Sharks beating the Titans 12-8. The Broncos thumping the Eagles 38-4. The Tigers narrowly getting past the Dragons 16-12. The Roosters 30-14 over the Knights, and the Cowboys 22-6 over the Bulldogs.
Yes, sir.
The top 6 make finals, which is good because the Warriors are currently 6th on 5 points, level with the Eagles and a point ahead of both the Bulldogs and the Titans. The Warriors are just 2 points behind the 5th place Sharks, who themselves are 2 points behind the 3rd place Knights and 4th place Cowboys. The Broncos are 2nd on 12 points, and the Roosters still undefeated on 14 points.
Yes, sir.
So they're the team to beat. The Warriors hosting the Sharks, who we just said are currently 5th. So that would be a big game for them on Sunday in Hamilton, Kirikiri Roa, at 3:45 p.m. p.m.
Yes, sir. As we move on to the other rugby again, the other rugby union.
Well, should we quickly
what's that,
mention Women's World Cup starts this weekend?
Yes, of course.
Let me grab trusty little Google.
We
out
are
here.
playing Spain in our first game.
I did remember that, and I think it is the Monday morning.
Yes.
Very early on. There we go. Oh, yep, there we go. So first game of the tournament kicks off on Saturday morning at 6:30. What do you mean the start is unavailable, Google? You should have it.
Well, I've got it on Tribe.
Well, I've got it here too. England play the USA at 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. And then you have Australia playing at 11 o'clock on Saturday against Samoa. You have Scotland taking on Wales at 1:45 on Sunday morning. And I might palm this off to you because the scores for me have gone, unless this will work.
Okay, I'll keep it going. So what did you just do, Scotland, Wales?
I just did. Oh, no, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
After that, you got Canada versus Fiji at 4:30.
Yes, sir.
And you got France versus Italy at 7:15
on that Sunday.
On that Sunday. And then that Sunday night, you have Ireland versus Japan. And then you have South Africa versus Brazil. Great matchup. 1:45 p.m. Just two random teams. You know.
AM. 1:45
1:45 a.m. And then 4:30 in the morning on Monday, you have New Zealand taking on Spain.
Yes, sir.
All the New Zealand kickoffs are fairly early. Monday, 1st of September, we're taking on Japan at 1 o'clock. And then our game against Ireland is 1:45 on a Monday morning as well. So, early morning Monday games. You'd think with all of the, like, with some games starting at 11 or like later in the morning, they would schedule the New Zealand games to be later because they'd know a lot of people would be watching it. Because I'm pretty sure that happened when we were at the Rugby World Cup in both England and France. But obviously it might just be a bit different here. But
they hate a winner, you know.
They hate the winners. They're still punishing us for the last World Cup. But
yeah, hey,
hey,
you know.
good luck to everyone. I'm going to try
true
watch
that.
that game at 4:30 in the morning, although I do usually get up at 4:50. So
And
on
on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are up at 4:10.
Oh, so you might actually be able to.
So I might even be able to watch them at work. So
hopefully.
I will update you on that as
Fingers
time
crossed.
goes on. But yeah, so that does start this weekend. Black Ferns, bring it home, of course.
Bring it home, please.
But I will say, England and Canada, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, and obviously the likes of Australia, France, and the USA, not bad outfits either.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of tough, though, one team that's been tough for in the NPC is Auckland, which we're going to talk about soon.
I need you to open up Tribe because I've forgotten the score here.
For which one?
For the last
I will do
NPC
that.
score.
That's all good, but I will run through the rest of them anyway.
Oh, go for
I've
it,
got
mate.
you. So we have got. Oh look, NPC's the first thing on Tribe.
As it should be.
So Southland beat Manawatu 29-22, and can I just say Manawatu were up 22-0, and Southland got 29 points. All in the second half.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know if he. I think I saw one of Trust Michael Manson. Speed demon.
Facts.
Speed demon.
That Southland team's not too bad. To be fair, in the way the NPC's gone to start this year, any team that's not the top of the North Island is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Then you had, speaking of, you had Tasman beating Northland in Whangarei 28-14. Then you had Canterbury taking the win against Bay of Plenty 21-7. Then fun times. Taranaki beat Auckland at Eden Park 50-8.
And it was a shame because a few hours before this game, the entire lower tier, the ASB stand, was completely full for the Auckland 1A final between Kings and St. Kitts, which Kings won.
Yes.
And then probably 90% of the crowd left. I think, but the weather was shocking. The weather was shocking on Saturday.
That ain't no excuse to be beaten 50-8.
But speaking of Auckland, they have multiple players on season-ending injuries,
Yes,
including Adrian Choate, Ben Ake, and maybe not Ben Ake, but a few other
There's
players.
multiple. There is multiple.
There are multiple.
And they've got other multiple injuries as well.
And Signa's currently injured, and they've got a whole bunch of players currently unfit. But Tangito didn't end up even playing that game he was supposed to. He's on the bench for the next one.
Yes, he is.
Which we'll briefly talk about. It's a very young team, Auckland, as well. So that's probably why they're losing by 42 points.
And also Auckland's the biggest city in New Zealand. All the talent spreads out anyway.
Yes.
But carrying on, Hawke's Bay beat North Harbour in Napier 36-22.
Very scary team, Hawke's Bay.
Yeah, they are. And then Wellington at home lost to Otago 46-41.
Love a high scoring game.
And then to update you with the Waikato Counties Manukau game, in the 82nd minute,
Oh.
Mr. Cook Savage steps up for Waikato and makes the penalty to win 27-26.
So it looks like under FPC, I've put the wrong result then.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's all good. We
So-
can. I can bring
While
that
you
up
get that,
too.
I'll just quickly tell you that next week, Bay of Plenty host Southland, Hawke's Bay host Canterbury, which will be a banger of a game. Taranaki host Waikato, which should be pretty good. North Harbour host Tasman. Auckland host Northland. Come on, Auckland, get a win. Otago host Counties. And then Manawatu take on their local rivals in Wellington.
Guess what?
What?
You were not wrong. Both games were exactly the same scores.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm looking at it now.
What?
Trust that. Okay, we're going to run through this. So the Farah Palmer Cup women's rugby was on. We're going to run through it. So the Bay of
crazy.
the Bay of Plenty Volcanics were at home against the Manawatu Cyclones. Unfortunately, they lost to Manawatu 45-31. The Hawke's Bay Tui, I did not see that last time. That's a great nickname. Were at home against Canterbury and got hammered. 72-0.
There's always a couple of drubbings in Farah Palmer.
It is very true.
Yeah.
But then the North Harbour Hibiscus, you know, my North Harbour guys, when North Harbour's winning and Auckland's losing,
This guy.
North Harbour did win 36-12 against the Taranaki Fjord. And then the Northland Cody, they beat Tasman at home 25-7.
Northland, very good team in Farah Palmer Cup. I
Yeah,
don't think
man.
they've lost a game. Well, it's obviously only been 2 games, but
And then the Otago Spirit away from home beat the Wellington Pride 32-26. And then the game I'm looking at right now, Waikato versus the Counties Manukau Heat in the 77th minute.
oh, jeez, what's with this?
Napier steps up for Waikato and hits the penalty to win 27-26. The exact same score for both the men's and women's games.
That's nuts. And so next week, Taranaki, they take on Tasman, 2 teams hoping to get a win after fairly big losses last week.
Yes, sir.
North Harbour are hosting Wellington. Canterbury taking on Counties Manukau. Auckland, fresh off the bye, will take on Bay of Plenty. Otago hosting Northland, 2 teams who won last week. And then Manawatu will host Hawke's Bay. Hawke's Bay probably hoping not to concede 72 or more again.
Yes.
Moving on to Dylan's sport of choice, and we're off
Oh, yes, sir.
to Saudi Arabia for the FIBA Asia Cup.
Yes, we are.
You want to quickly dribble through this?
I can. So we
Swish.
got to the
Green.
playoffs. The Tall Blacks topped their group. The Tall Blacks did beat Lebanon in the quarterfinal, 90-86. It was a huge comeback.
Oh, yeah, Lebanon also thrashed Japan in the round previously.
Yes.
You were very scared about Japan, and then the
Yes.
next day you're like, oh yeah, Lebanon thrashed Japan.
Yeah, no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
But the Tall Blacks did get a comeback win over Lebanon, 90-86. But played China in the semi-final and unfortunately lost
China are tough.
98-84.
Am I wrong in saying maybe that we didn't name our strongest team and China possibly did?
I don't think China would have named their. China probably would have been
Well,
in the same boat as us,
I mean, they're
Japan, and Australia.
They probably wouldn't
Yeah.
have Yang Hansen, but apart from that, is
Yeah.
there anyone of note from China who's playing in the NBA? I don't
not
think
that,
so.
not that I can think
I
of.
have
So they probably took a stronger team than the
Yeah.
usually young team we take to the FIBA Asia Cup. But
Because I think our full strength, because we usually don't take a full strength team to the Asia Cup.
yes,
I think if our full strength team played a Chinese full strength team, I think we'd win.
yeah, yeah.
But hey, obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But China are a good team in Asia, so you can't fault that.
Yeah. But they did, China did beat us 98-84, which meant we were in the bronze medal game against Iran, who we beat. I'm pretty sure. Did we beat them?
I think so.
No, sorry, that might have been Iraq. I can't remember. Anyway, We did play Iran in the bronze medal game and unfortunately lost 79-73. So what seems very New Zealand basketball at world tournaments. We finished 4th.
Yeah, but 4th is 4th.
Yeah, big facts.
Top 4.
But Australia did play China in the final, and what a final it was. Australia did beat China 90-89.
Another cup for Aussie. They can't complain.
Back to back FIBA Asia Cups for them.
Yeah, but
that's a three-peat, baby.
The Asian giants, so you can't fold them.
Big facts.
But moving on to the last local sport, the Australia Cup and Kiwi football. Auckland FC comfortably beat South Melbourne 3-0 to set up a quarterfinal against Sydney FC this Saturday at 9:30 p.m. They've also announced 2 signings, which include former Wellington Phoenix goalkeeper Ollie Sale, which was rather unexpected. So Sale hasn't been the greatest at Perth last 2 seasons. He was decent at the Knicks. He kept Alex Paulson out of the starting gig for probably a little bit too long.
Yeah.
But in my head, he's coming in as backup. I think Michael Val deserves to actually get ran out as number 1 because he was promised it last year and then the rules changed and they signed Paulson. So I think he'd be pretty pissed off. It happened 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah,
he's been good in preseason. I don't think he's really conceded much.
True.
He's a good goalkeeper. He's all white already. He's played in the U20 World Cup, been to the Olympics.
See what he can do.
I see what he can do, absolutely. And then they've signed 28-year-old English striker Sam Cosgrove, who was last contracted to Barnsley, but he's best known for a 3-season stint at Aberdeen. He is 6'4".
Yeah, he's a big dude.
We needed a striker to get on the crosses.
We did need a big striker.
And we have signed someone who should be able to do that. So I'm excited to see what he can do in the A-League and specifically.
Do we still have Guillermo Mai?
Yep, we still have Mai.
In that case, Guillermo Mai probably goes back to what I think his spot is better, which would be like an attacking midfielder.
It'll either be a 10 or another striker.
Yeah, pretty much.
They'll either play 4-4-2 or, they'll play Mai behind him, which I think is his best role.
Yes, agreed.
I think he gets a lot more freedom there. And meanwhile, on the other side of New Zealand football, the Wellington Phoenix thumped 4-0 by NPL side Heidelberg United last night when we were recording this in their Australia Cup quarterfinal. I don't know.
No, it was a quarterfinal.
It was a quarterfinal. If they had won that and we'd won our quarterfinal, it would have been an all-Kiwi semi-final, which is a shame.
Yeah, damn.
But hey, not a great time for the Knicks. Getting closer and closer to opening day, which is in about 2 months.
Yeah. So
they've supposedly got an import centre back or a foreign centre back coming through soon. We're supposedly signing an Australian centre back soon as well. We need because Nando Peinecker is injured. For the first 6 weeks of the next 6 weeks. So we need a centre back. He also wasn't named in the All White squad, which was announced yesterday. And Ryan Thomas is back.
Yes.
Not expecting that until October. But for the 2 matches against Australia for the Soccer Ashes, it's a shitty name, but it's actually got good meaning. So I'll remain calling it the Soccer Ashes.
Fair enough.
He's back. The thing was, they didn't want to force him back into the team quickly. He didn't want to because, he's struggled with injuries the last couple of years. Like, really bad injury. Like, he just wanted to get comfortable, be playing club football. He's at PSV Zwolle in the Netherlands, and get a good run of form without being injured before going back. And I think it made sense for him to wait till we had fixtures in October where we're playing Norway and Poland. The Poland game's officially announced now.
Yep.
So it's because it would be less travel from the Netherlands, but he's agreed to be selected for this. I think a couple of players were not selected. Matthew Garbett, who's at Peterborough United now in England.
Yes.
He just hasn't really been playing because he hasn't had a club until like less than a week ago.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been involved. Ben Old's in the squad, obviously back from injury at St Etienne. And you have all the usual suspects.
Yeah.
You have James McGarry back in the squad for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basically it, Sale named in the squad with Paulson and Max Crocombe. And all the usual names: Sarpreet Singh, Chris Wood, Callum McCowart, Starmanich, Bowell, Rufer. And speaking of Marco Starmanich, he's supposedly set to join Swansea City permanently from Nottingham Forest. He needs to play.
Yeah,
this is a good move. Championship is a good league. Our mutual friend, someone you went to school with, and someone I know through other people, Mr. Daniel Markham, is a little bit of a Swansea fan because he briefly lived in the area and went to games. So
he did.
He's stoked that Marco is
I wish he could have been signed for Leicester. But
I think
that's
you guys,
just a personal
I
feeling
think
for me.
you guys still got a pretty decent team.
Yeah, well, yeah.
For the championship.
Yes.
But moving on to the league they got relegated from because oh shit, the Premier League.
Yeah, stuff you, mate.
Sorry, I didn't
Back
mean
to
that.
and international sport, actually.
Yeah, we're up to international sport, and we'll briefly go through the Premier League. Liverpool, they scared a lot of people. They're 2-0 up against Bournemouth pretty early on. Debut goal for Hugo Ekitike, who looks very good, a lot better than a lot of people expected.
Goal and assist in this game.
He's tall, he can run. It's a bit scary. And then a goal later in the game to Cody Gakpo. And then Bournemouth through a brilliant performance from
Semenyo. Is it Semenyo?
Semenyo.
Semenyo, there you go.
Unfortunately, was the subject of racial abuse in the first half from a Liverpool fan in a wheelchair, and they escorted him out or rolled him out of the ground. And then Semenyo responded.
They rolled him out.
responded by
scoring 2 goals.
scoring a brace, making it 2-2. But then I love that he scored it. Federico Chiesa, 88th minute. Didn't really play a lot of Liverpool last year. Was heavily rumoured he was going to leave, but since they've sold Nunez and unfortunately Diego Jota passing away, they told him, well, we actually kind of need you now.
Yes.
He comes off and he scores, and I just thought that was sick.
Awesome. He could end up making a massive impact.
Oh, he could, because we knew how good he was for Italy. We knew how good he was in Serie A. And he was just so cheerful when he scored. I was like, I'm so happy.
Good on the bro.
And then it was Mo Salah scored right at the end to keep. I think that's like his 10th.
It's 10.
His 10th goal on the first game of the season since joining Liverpool. He had a streak which went from 2017 to 2023, but he scored in every single opening day, which was nuts. But Liverpool started the season off with a 4-2 win. Aston Villa Newcastle 0-0. Okay. Next, Brighton Fulham 1-1. Okay. Sunderland have thumped West Ham, who do not look good at all. Daniel Ballard, centre back for Sunderland, had an absolute field there. He was the top player in fantasy because I think he scored once or assisted. Yeah. He scored at least once. But he was very good for Sunderland. They've got a good team. They're looking very good.
There you go.
And then Tottenham, a much needed confidence start to the season. 3-0 Richarlison with 2 goals. We'll see if that form stays. But Kudus played very well in his debut for them. Shame for Burnley, but it's going to be a tough season whenever you're promoted. Man City to Wolves. 4-0. Haaland back off to the races, scoring. Tiani Rangers, or Rangers, however you say his name.
I'm pretty sure it's reindeers.
I think it's like reindeers, yeah.
Yeah.
At work, I call them reindeers, and my coworker thinks it's funny. He was very, very good. I think their midfield of him, Rodri, and Cherki is just that next evolution of the Man City midfield. Yeah. Like, they don't have De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva's getting old. Like, on the wing, it's clearly going to be Haaland, Marmoush, and Oscar Bob is their preferred, because they're willing to sell Savio. Although if they do sell Savio to Tottenham, which is rumoured, they're going to bring in Rodrigo. So that's tough. It's a very Man City coded signing.
Yes, very.
I can't be upset because it's Man City to a T.
Yes.
Followed by that, Chelsea Crystal Palace and 0-0. Good for Chelsea's defense because a lot of people were concerned with Levi Colwill going out, but also means Palace is still decent if they're drawing with Chelsea.
True.
Nottingham Forest. Thank you.
Our boy
Chris Wood, 2 goals, silenced everyone again. Yes. My co-workers, 2 other English guys, and they love to tell me how shit Chris Wood is. Well, one of them in particular, he's like, I could score every goal Chris Wood. He's just a lucky guy. Like,
why do English people do this to themselves?
I think it's just to piss me off more than anything.
Oh, no, they all do it.
But it's like 20. But he scored 20 goals last year, and like I selected him in fantasy last year, and they're like, you're an idiot. And then he did so well in fantasy last year. They told me that heading into this season, I didn't have him in my team for ages, and I added him at the end. 2 goals, saving grace. Thank you, Chris Wood. They beat Brentford 3-1.
I've said this and I'll continue to say this until Father Time catches up with him, really.
Yep.
If you can get Chris Wood some solid ball, well, he is going to finish that shit better than most strikers.
We'll talk about that in a sec.
Yes.
Arsenal travel to Old Trafford and face Manchester United and get a 1-0 win. Not a great performance for Victor Gyökeres on his debut. Didn't even get a shot. But a goal to don't think his first name's Diego, but Calafiori, Ricardo Calafiori.
Yeah, Calafiori. Yeah.
Not their starting left back, but got the nod on the day and played well. I think.
Yeah.
Strong signs for us. Although I believe Man United actually did play fairly well despite going down.
Yeah.
They just need to sort out their goalkeeper position.
They did like Calafiori's goal. I mean, first of all, Arsenal off of corners.
I think they've scored like
they've scored 31. The next one is 20.
Yeah, I think
That's
we probably saw the same video. I thought it was 38 goals.
No,
from
it was
corners.
31.
Okay, but from like last year, 31 goals from
Yes.
corners is nuts.
Yeah.
But Football Manager can tell you that if you have a good corner set piece, it's so overpowered because that's how you win at Football Manager. You buy a 6'10" centre back and then you set up your corners and you score every single game from corners.
Facts. But that's how Calafiori scored. But I think Man United actually did a job on Arsenal's high press.
Yes.
I think they did a job on it. So maybe Amarim's got something there.
I think
Who
he does.
knows?
I think he just it was a bit shit that he had to start mid-season last year.
Yeah.
But he's getting pieces in the door. Like, come on, they've signed Cunha and Mbuemo and now Shishko.
Yeah.
They might still be in for Baleba, but I think they need other centre mids. The fans are not happy about Ugarte. So I think they need to sort out
Manchester
their
United
midfield.
fans are never happy about anything.
Oh, no, they're not. Not until they win the Premier again. And then yesterday, Leeds will go back to the Premier League for 1-0 win over Everton. My Everton supporting friend Gabe told me the penalty was bullshit. I haven't watched it yet.
I watched this game live.
Oh, you did?
I did.
He said it was it was a very poorly officiated game.
No. I disagree. I don't think it was a poorly officiated game. I think a fan of a losing team would say that.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Tarkovsky couldn't have done anything better. But I still think technically it's a penalty. So pretty much, I'll kind of explain it. And if you see me on the camera, you'll see it. So pretty much, there was a shot. I can't remember who it was from for Leeds. But pretty much, he was the last line before the goalkeeper. And he went to go and lean and block it, which he probably wanted to go with his chest. But instead, he tucks his arm back as far as he can.
Yeah.
But the ball hits right there.
That's very rough.
That is he did everything right, but by technicality, yes, it
I
is a
feel
penalty.
like they're so inconsistent with that ruling, though. In football, like, you'll see someone clearly trying to bring that arm back, and sometimes I'll say, yeah, that's fine, it's not a pen, or sometimes I'll say, nah, it's a pen.
What I will say is I just want to say fair play to James Tarkovsky as well, because dude didn't complain at all. Dude just moved on.
He's a
awesome,
solid
man.
older head English centre back. He knows what
man.
he's doing. He's been around. Former Leicester guy, right? So
I'm not sure he is.
no,
He may have been before I started supporting them.
no, he played for them recently.
No, he didn't.
Tarkovsky.
No, hasn't he always been at? He was at Southampton, wasn't he?
I'll
let you search this
He's
anyway.
been around. Tarkovsky's been around. I'm pretty sure he's at Leicester somewhat recent. No, sorry. I'm thinking of someone else. No, I'm thinking of Johnny Smith. Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, yes, was. Yes.
He was at. He actually came through at Blackburn.
Yes.
And then at Youth Academy, and then started professionally at Oldham. Then was at Brentford for a couple of seasons before the Premier. Was at Burnley for ages.
Yes,
that's where he was.
The
And then he
one,
went to Everton. He's only 32. I thought he was a bit older.
Yeah, but no, can I just say, any professional football player watching, any kids that play sport that are watching, that's a tough call.
Yeah.
And dude took it on the chest. That's how you should be doing it.
Yeah.
And I say that because I used to not do that, and now I do. So yes, but it's a rough call.
Yeah,
but I do
it's game
think
one.
Yeah, I do think it technically. Yeah,
It
it's
is,
right. Yeah.
But it's game week 1, and then next week, your reasonable kickoffs for the New Zealand viewer. Saturday, 7:00, you got West Ham hosting Chelsea. Could be a bit of a bloodbath if West Ham aren't locked in. And then at Saturday at 11:30 p.m, you got a big one: Man City hosting Spurs. So that will be good. Spurs always seem to do well at the Etihad for some reason. And the other big game, which actually wouldn't have even been done by the time the next podcast comes out, is Newcastle hosting Liverpool next week Tuesday at 7.
And speaking of big games, for any of my friends that are like me watching my team in the Championship, Leicester did lose 2-1 to Preston North End.
Well,
so that's great.
Big up Hull, they bets. Who do we bet someone very last minute? I think it was Oxford. I think it was a league game. 3-2.
Yes, it was, because Oxford's in the Championship.
Ollie McBurney, former Sheffield United guy who we signed, scored 92nd minute after we drew 0 opening day against a team I forgot. I think it was Coventry. Moving on to the transfers, and Liverpool have added young 18-year-old Italian centre-back Giovanni Leone from Parma, and they're set to sign Mark Guay, but it's gone a bit quiet, as has the Alexander Isak, which that's kind of unfolded this morning. He put out a statement, Newcastle put out a statement, a lot of back and forth. Chris Wood make the PFA Team of the Year. Shout out, Chris.
People were pissed about that, though.
He deserved it. They can go fuck themselves.
Agreed. Agreed.
And moving on to Nottingham Forest, signing spree. They've signed Amari Hutchinson for Ipswich for a lot of money. They've signed James McAtee for Man City for a lot of money. They've added, or maybe not, French striker, and I know he's a bit of a baller, Arnaud Kalimawendo from Rennes. And they're also linked to Rico Lewis, but they're now set to sign Douglas Luiz. So that's insane depth for them because they looked good against Brentford.
They did.
Especially guys who would be, their positions would be kind of at risk with that, like the likes of Elliot Anderson in midfield and even Chris Wood up top and whatnot. Man City linked with Gianluigi Donnarumma, although James Trafford played against Burnley and played very well. Not against Burnley, against Wolves, I should say. And Edison is supposedly joining Galatasaray, although they are also linked with another goalkeeper. I think it maybe Rui Costa Diego, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
If they don't sign Edison, maybe it was a different keeper. I'm not sure. And Eberechi Eze is actually set to join Spurs and not Arsenal, who was linked with earlier in the window.
Arsenal fans are going to be pissed.
They will be, because this is just a great signing for Spurs, which is like, yeah, sure. Like, add him. Like, I didn't think they would need him or would sign him because they've already got like the likes of Kudus and Kulusevski on the wing. So it's a big signing. Maybe he plays further back and centrally. But that'd be a huge signing for them. I can't think of anything else I haven't listed here. So we'll move on to the international rugby.
This game, bro.
The Australian Wallabies. Holy hecker. 22-0 down after 15 minutes, trailing 22-5 at half time. Have beaten the Springboks, yes, the South African ones, at Ellis Park, yes, that one.
Yes, that
and
one.
Johannesburg, yes, that one. 38-22.
Oh, man.
Their first win at Ellis Park since the 60s. Their first win in South Africa for years.
Yep.
With James O'Connor at 10. Nick White, who retired 3 weeks ago, at 9.
Yes. Now, I'm going to pull this back a little bit because I want all Wallabies fans to know that this happened when you had a Kiwi coach.
And it happened.
You had a Kiwi coach.
And James O'Connor spent 6 years of his childhood in New Zealand. Went to Rutherford Primary.
Well, didn't
834.
Didn't you say he could have played for the All Blacks, Australia, or South Africa?
He was eligible for all three.
Wow, well, there you go. But anyway, Australia had their own way in the second half. I've not seen the South Africans honestly play like that since 2017.
Like Swali'i, Jorgensen.
Jorgensen's going to be good.
He's only 20.
He's only 20.
It's so annoying. Tom Wright as well.
Very good form. God.
I remember when he was supposed to go to Japan and be one of the highest paid players in the world, and everyone was like, yeah, fair enough, go to Japan.
Yeah.
But he never went. And
it's for good reason.
And in Australia, they lifted their rules on international-based players, so he could still go back to Japan and make bank. Or go to Japan, I should say, and make bank. And still continue to play fullback for Australia.
It's going to be... Yes. Look, I said this last year to you as well. I've said this to you off mic multiple times. Australia still have talent there. It's about getting the mental straight. Because
they need the mental strength. They need just to be able to bring everyone together and get a core group, definitely... formed,
and frick, they showed it, man.
And although Jock was great, they need a much higher caliber 10, because that's just what we've been missing the last couple of years. They have some solid 10s like Lolosio, James O'Connor, Donaldson, Edmed, but they don't have that kind of.
They need that
an X factor.
Stephen Larkham 10.
Yeah, probably the most recent best 10 they have was maybe Bernard Foley. So,
yes.
Because he started at 10 at the 2015 World Cup, I want to say.
Yes.
And I think O'Connor was at the 2019 World Cup, actually. I don't know if he was the 10, but he was there.
Exactly.
But that's great for Australia.
Yeah, it is.
But South Africa will be wanting revenge in the next game. They've announced their team. Only 5 people remain from the starting 11.
Yeah.
Sia Khaleesi, unfortunately, probably going to miss the New Zealand games with injury. A lot of changes. I see they're playing Kirtley at 12, which I didn't know he could.
Did they?
Yeah. No, I think I misread it, actually. I'm going
to double check this.
I swear
no
I saw
way
him
they're playing little ass Kirtley.
I saw him at 12. Like, that's where I think it was De Allende, and I got confused.
But all good. Play De Allende on the wing.
I think they've also only named a 7-1 bench. if I'm mistaken.
Yes.
The only back I saw was Sasha. I was like,
Oh no, I'm pretty sure it's a 6-2. I am pretty sure
is
it's a 6-2.
Corbus a half?
I believe so. Yes.
And I believe Quagga Smith can supposedly play both. So
Yeah.
both forward and back.
Yeah. Very South African thing to do at the moment. But I can't lie. No way South Africa can let that go.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if it's another if it's a close game and Australia might even win it. But they're not going to have their way with South Africa again, and South Africa not going to allow anyone to have their way with them again.
And like we briefly said before, Len Ekitau and Joseph Suaalii have excellent potential in that 12 and 13.
Suaalii is I can see why they paid so much money to bring him from rugby league. Because his time in rugby league was also very high note. He was a Rabbitohs junior, and the Roosters basically, maybe a bit dodgy, poached him from the Rabbitohs, and they got an exemption so he could play NRL rugby at 17 or 18.
Yeah.
He was Origin player last year at 19 or 20 or whatever. He's still very young.
Just an athletic talent, bro.
He's probably going to go back to league and then back to union. I think what he will do is he'll probably...
Really?
I think he will be the first player ever in the professional era to flip-flop between the two consistently. Because he'll want the payday of rugby league, and obviously I think like Origin's a big part, but he'll want to play for the Wallabies because, people go on about the NRL like, oh, you got much better season and then you can play Origin, and the super season's only 15 games, only 12 or 14 games, but then you get 15 games with the Wallabies where you get to play at Eden Park, at Twickenham, at Stade de France, at the Aviva. You get to go around, you get to travel.
That's legacy.
And that's the thing you get with union, you don't really get with league. Like, they do internationals in league, but it's not on the same scale.
Not the same scale.
Like, Australia going on the tour to England this year is great.
Yes.
But that's only once in a while. And the Pacific Championship here, like, we get to host Samoa and Tonga and then play a final in Australia if we make it, even though they're not even in the comp.
Yes.
Make that work.
Yes.
But...
Money, man. Funny.
Yeah, that's just a little bit. I think I wouldn't be surprised after the next World Cup, unless Australia win it, which, hey, they could.
True.
I think Suaalii could go back to league and play for maybe 2 seasons and then go back in time for the next World Cup.
Let's just say this bold prediction. I think Australia make it out of their group at the next World Cup.
Bold prediction. Bold prediction.
Yeah, because I'm trying to rile up the Wallabies fans,
Well, if they're making the semi-finals in my book. It
Yeah,
depends on the draw.
the way they're playing at the moment,
It depends on the
yes.
draw. I'm surprised the draw hasn't happened yet. Because usually they do it way too early.
Yeah, true.
Because the last time the thing is, the last time they did the 2020 World Cup draw, I was working at McDonald's. That's
Yes,
how early.
yeah.
And I left McDonald's in July of 2021.
Yes.
2 years before the tournament, and we already knew we were playing France.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Well, let's just say this: if the better Australia get, the better it is for us as
This
the
is
All
why
Blacks.
I'm so happy about this, because as long as Australia are good, we're good.
Yeah.
Because it's just,
With that being said, yes, Australia can be good. They can beat everybody else except us.
hey, they do need to win the Bledisloe at some point. It's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, do it when
it's 23 years.
Well, they can win it when I'm dead.
Hey, that's a bit rude.
Hey,
I've got family.
I love my team.
I've got family from Australia, and they all support the All Blacks. So
I have, I have family in Australia. They support the All Blacks, and there's a reason why.
because we're the All Blacks.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but no, and also, like you've got written down here, you've got the Pacific Nations Cup as well.
Yes,
in the men's
Canada
game.
hosting the US and Tonga hosting Samoa this weekend. Japan and Fiji having byes. This is also World Cup qualification. Remember. And moving on, this is basically the segment for this week. NCAA football.
Let's go.
Is back.
Before you start
College
this,
football.
for anybody asking, because I know a few NFL fans of my friends and stuff like that. Before you ask, ain't nobody covering preseason. Stop.
No, it's
Stop.
there's some funny moments in there, and some interesting stuff to look at. But it's preseason. You have some people.
Don't worry. As a Steelers fan, we'll be covering the frickin' season.
Oh,
Trust
we will
me.
be, and I believe next week we'll be doing a little bit of. We'll have to do a little bit of a preview because we haven't really covered American football on this podcast. Because I believe when we started the Super Bowl, it just happened.
Yes, it had.
It had just happened. College football had been passed and gone. We covered the draft when it happened in April.
Dead and gone. Sorry.
And we haven't really talked about the NFL, so it's going to be interesting to see how we work it into this podcast and how we're going to talk about it.
But we are talking college football, like you said. So
We are.
Let's
so
go.
if you don't know, college football is a little bit backwards. To find the best team in the country, they use a ranking system.
Yes.
AP, I think it's Associated Press pull out.
Yeah, the poll,
ranking poll. I believe it's top 25.
Yes, it is.
Preseason poll has put Texas at the number 1. They've got a very highly rated prospect in Arch Manning. He is the nephew of
Eli and Peyton.
And the grandson of Archie Manning.
Yes, sir.
His dad was Cooper Manning, who was supposed to be a very high prospect. I think he got a nasty injury.
Yeah, he did. So he was the wide receiver, actually.
Oh, he's the right wide receiver.
Yeah, he wasn't
That's
the quarterback, so
Yes.
he was a wide receiver. He was pretty bloody good.
Yes.
In high school, and then devastating. I'm pretty sure it was a knee injury. That actually stopped him from completely playing.
So, and obviously Peyton, his uncle, 2-time Super Bowl champion, once with the Colts, once with the Broncos, and Eli Manning, the
2-time Super Bowl champion,
at the kryptonite of Tom Brady,
yes.
and the New England Patriots, which is so funny. But
funny,
he's their main quarterback now since Quinn was declared for the draft.
Yep. And it's now at the Dolphins, I believe.
The Dolphins, God. But the first game is at 4 a.m. on Sunday, and it's in Dublin, in Ireland, which it has been last year, maybe the year before, in the 2025 Aer Lingus College Football Classic. The number 22 ranked Iowa State. Ooh.
Iowa State, yep.
Take on the 17th ranked Kansas State. Didn't realize Kansas State could be so good at football.
Yes.
17th in the country is pretty good. We'll talk about more how the conferences work, I think, once the season's kicked off.
There's just so many conferences.
I mean,
there's
really only 4 now because the Pac kind of dissolved.
Oh, yeah. The
Pac basically doesn't exist.
Was it the Pac-12 or 10 that dissolved?
Pac-12.
Yeah.
It's only because the SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, and no, none of the numbers actually are relevant to how many teams.
They're not.
It's long gone now, changed. Because
you do have other smaller conferences outside of that, but there's not as much as there used to be.
And those 4 conferences are your main conferences, which main schools, and they get all the rights and whatnot.
Yeah.
The Pac used to have all the Pacific teams on the West Coast, but they've all moved to variety of conferences in the Big 12 and the ACC, which doesn't make sense because they're all on the complete.
They're all on the complete.
It's all because of TV deals, and I've watched so many videos about it, and it just boggles my mind how much it matters.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But the SEC is usually your big
the SEC is the best conference in college sport.
That's your Bama, LSU, Clemson, Auburn, Texas are in there now.
I think Clemson's Big 10.
No, Clemson's ACC, aren't they?
Sorry. But you've got Alabama, LSU, Tennessee, Ole Miss,
Arkansas.
Stop it, America! Stop it. It's not Arkansas, bro.
There's Floridian reputation.
Yeah, Florida State.
Yeah,
you have Florida in there as well. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. Of course, yeah.
And then I'm just trying to think. Pretty much it's Georgia.
Texas and Texas A&M now, right?
Texas was in the.
They moved to
the SEC from another conference.
Yes,
but Texas is there,
and Oklahoma's in it.
Yes. Yes, I believe so.
Hey,
or at least no, Oklahoma's different conference. Anyway, see how confusing it is, people. America, what the?
I've looked it up. I've had short of it, Southeastern Conference.
Yes, there you go.
I will tell you the 16 teams because it's 16 now, which is a lot.
Yes, it is. A lot.
But
I know you've got Bama, Auburn, Ole Miss.
Here we go.
Oh, Mississippi. I think you have
Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Mississippi, Mississippi State, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt.
Yes, Vanderbilt.
Wouldn't have been able to tell you Vanderbilt's in the SEC.
Vanderbilt did last year, though. They beat, I can't remember what big team they beat.
They're more of a basketball school, though, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, besides the
we
point.
got distracted. Iowa State and Kansas State are not in that conference. But most teams will actually have their first game next week, starting Friday, the 29th of August.
Yeah.
Texas's first game is against the 3rd-ranked Ohio State, always a deadly team, and a huge game on Saturday, the 31st of August. Unfortunately, because it's a 12 p.m. kickoff in Ohio, it means 4 o'clock in the morning here.
Yay!
Which is a bit annoying. But on the same day at 11:30, 9th-ranked LSU are away to 4th placed, fourth rated, Clemson.
Clemson,
So
there you go.
that's a big game. LSU versus Clemson. I can't wait to see what teams end up doing well and what teams end up not doing well.
True.
What prospects suddenly reveal themselves. I remember
Tetaidor McMillan, mate.
Title McMillan for me came out of nowhere with
Arizona.
Arizona last year and was a first round draft pick, which was awesome to
And
see.
not just first, he was ninth. He was a top 10 pick.
Where did he go again?
Panthers. Carolina Panthers.
Okay, but they have Wilson, so a quarterback. No, what's
No,
his
they
name?
don't.
No,
They have Bryce Young.
I thought his name was Bryce Wilson.
Bryce
Young.
No, they have Bryce Young there.
That's
yes.
exactly who I meant. Bryce Young, who
will hopefully for him have a better season this year.
well, he started off bad last year, got benched, brought back in and killed it. So
Yeah,
I feel
there you
like
go. I think he'll be fine.
I think if he has McMillan as
Yes.
is someone to pass to.
He's actually got quite a bit of weapons there as well outside of that.
Let's
I
just
can't
hope-
name them off the top of my
Let's
head.
just hope
but
it's
yeah.
not a Bengal situation and he has like just no O line.
Yeah, big facts. That'll be interesting to see.
Because Joe Burrow, I hope he doesn't just like get destroyed this season because I do
Yes.
like a bit of Joe Burrow.
But at the same time, he's also in the same division as the Steelers, so
So,
he
yeah,
can
you
do
don't-
well against everybody else,
except the Steelers.
except the Steelers.
How
where
do you feel about Russell Wilson throwing an 80-yard touchdown in preseason? Didn't do that to the Steelers.
No, actually, he did.
Oh, did he?
No, well, he didn't do like the one thing with Russell Wilson, which is the reason why he was good, especially to start with the Steelers when he finally started over Justin Fields, was he throws a freaking moon ball.
Oh, he does.
He throws a deep ball very well, and we haven't had that really since Big Ben Roethlisberger. So, look, I don't know what we're
who's-
going to get out of 1 year of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah, you said
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. I forgot about that.
I don't know what we're going to get out of 1 year of Aaron Rodgers, but if it's one great year, that's just enough. And like we were actually talking about last week, but with a separate sport,
Yeah.
when it comes to quarterbacks, yes, you want a star quarterback.
Yeah.
You want the elite quarterback, but really you want a quarterback that has the potential to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I I think if Rodgers had the best 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers season, because he's probably one of the most talented quarterbacks to ever play, then could that happen? We'll see what happens.
Maybe it was 5 years ago, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Still can't believe he fell so far in that draft in 2005.
Yeah, crazy.
I remember
but-
watching a doco about him, like how? Because obviously I wasn't 5 watching the NFL draft.
No, that's very
Unfortunately,
true.
I think the first time I watched the NFL
Yeah.
draft was when Jared Goff got taken number 1 because I remember some guy in my media studies class was telling me that's his guy.
Yes.
It's like, that's my guy, Jared Goff, and he would have been taken by the Rams.
Yeah.
And obviously ended up at Detroit and almost won a Super Bowl. So.
But with next week, we will do some NFL previews. I'm going to put this out there. We're going to do our Super Bowl picks.
Super Bowl picks.
Yes.
What?
Early.
So by picks, do you mean we will?
The two teams that play in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I was gonna say, should we not just predict who's gonna basically just predict the NFL and then get our Super Bowl picks from there? Just fucking go balls into it.
Yes, we of course. Always.
Always balls in with my buddy.
Hi, Gabrielle. Anyway,
Hi, Gab.
on that absolute bombshell,
You're stealing my line, which I stole from Jeremy Clarkson.
yeah, there you go. I am going to. You stole something from. Anyway, we're going to head out of here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry this is coming out late. We
Hey.
have pretty much sorted our lives
We have
out,
a life.
so-
Deal with it.
So,
We have jobs.
with that being
Does that
said,
scare you? Whoa, job.
with that being said, we will be back to normal next week.
Yes.
Like we said, we'll be covering the, doing a little bit of NFL predictions as well.
We will be, but there'll be All Blacks to cover, NPC,
Yes, sir.
NRL,
Yes, sir.
more Premier League, probably more European stuff, which
Yep.
we didn't cover any of it this week. More transfers, probably. And
And hopefully I come back with Leicester City actually have winning a game.
that would be nice.
That would be great for
That'd
me.
be very, very nice.
There you go. So, Simon, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you very much for having me, as always.
And
Been fun.
and with that being said, as we do, CouchSide out.
CouchSide out.